Rain pounded the roof of the rusted truck as John tightened his grip on the steering wheel, squinting through the fogged-up windshield. In the back seat, his 6-year-old daughter Lily clutched her worn-out teddy bear, her head bobbing with sleep. It was nearly midnight when he saw her, a girl, no older than 20, standing by the side of the road, soaked to the bone, her arms wrapped tightly around herself. John hesitated. He didn't have much. In fact, he had almost nothing. Just a beat-up truck, a tiny trailer he called home, and his little girl who was his entire world. But something about the girl's shivering figure, the hopeless look in her eyes, hit him like a punch to the chest. He pulled over. "You okay?" he asked through the open window. She nodded quickly, but her lips trembled. "My car broke down. My phone's dead. I don't know what to do." John looked back at Lily, then at the girl again. "I don't have much, but if you need a place to stay tonight, I can offer you a couch. Just one night." The girl looked shocked, then nodded gratefully. "Thank you." "Really?" Her name was Emma. The trailer creaked as the wind howled outside. Lily curled up on the mattress, fast asleep, while John tossed a blanket on the old couch for Emma. "You sure it's okay?" she asked softly. He gave a tired smile. "No one should be out there on a night like this." She nodded, blinking fast as if trying to hold back tears. The next morning, John made pancakes, a rare treat. Lily giggled when Emma made a funny face with syrup. It was warm, simple, and strangely perfect. Emma stayed quiet most of the time, observing everything. The trailer was small and cluttered, patched with duct tape and hope. But it was full of love, John's patience with Lily, his soft voice when he read her stories, the way he smiled at her drawings like they were masterpieces. Emma's eyes lingered on a cracked photo frame, John, a woman, and baby Lily. "Your wife?" she asked. John nodded slowly. "Her name was Sarah. Cancer. She passed when Lily was 2. Been just us ever since." Emma swallowed hard. "I'm sorry." He shrugged. "I get by. I do odd jobs. Fixing fences, painting houses, whatever people need. It's not much, but Lily's happy. That's what matters." Emma looked away. She hadn't told him anything about herself. Not that her father owned half the hotels in the state. Not that she had a personal driver. Or that she'd run away after a bitter fight with her dad, trying to prove that she wasn't just some spoiled rich kid who didn't understand the real world. But now, sitting in that trailer, watching a little girl laugh and a tired man beam with pride over cheap pancakes, Emma realized she was learning more about life and love than she ever had in her mansion. That afternoon, John drove Emma into town. He didn't ask questions when she made a call from the diner phone. Just smiled and said, "Take care of yourself." Emma nodded, eyes misty. "Thank you, John. For everything." He shrugged. "You looked like someone who needed a hand. We've all been there." Emma looked back at the truck as it drove away, dust kicking up behind it. She didn't say goodbye to John or Lily. Not properly. But something inside her told her this wasn't the end. 2 weeks passed. John returned home from another long day of labor to find Lily jumping up and down. "Daddy! There's a fancy lady outside." He walked out, wiping his hands on his jeans, and there she was. Emma. But this time, she stepped out of a sleek black car, dressed in clean designer clothes, her eyes soft and searching. "You said you don't ask questions," she said, smiling. "But I owe you answers." She told him everything, about her father, the money, the fight. How she'd run away to see if people would still help her when she had nothing. "And you did. Without even knowing who I was." John looked down, a little embarrassed. "Didn't matter who you were. You needed help." Emma glanced around. "I talked to my dad. Told him about you. About Lily. He wants to help. No strings attached. John stiffened. I don't want pity. Emma shook her head. It's not pity. It's gratitude. And maybe a little justice. He owns property, apartments he keeps empty, a construction company, even a few schools that need groundskeepers. He could give you a stable job. A better place to live. For Lily. John didn't speak for a long time. But Lily ran forward and hugged Emma's leg. You came back, she said, grinning. Emma knelt down. I told you I would. 3 months later, John stood on the front porch of their new home, a modest but beautiful cottage on the edge of town. He had a steady job managing the grounds at a local school, which gave him enough time to walk Lily to class every morning. And Emma? She visited every week. Sometimes for dinner. Sometimes to help Lily with art projects. And sometimes, just to sit on that porch beside John and talk about the kind of life money couldn't buy. The story spread online, a single father who gave a stranger shelter, and in return, found not charity, but opportunity. It reminded people that kindness matters, that one selfless act, even when you have nothing to give, can change your life in ways you never expected. Because sometimes, when you open your heart to a stranger, you might just find the family you never knew you needed. And sometimes, the richest hearts aren't the ones with the most wealth, but the ones with the most love to give.